everyone. Today we're going to talk a little bit about what's in my makeup bag. This is the good, the bad, and the ugly, and the expired that I have in my personal makeup bag at home. And I also wanted to let everyone know, a lot of our customers are not aware that we actually offer a makeup bag clean out sort of service, if you will, or consultation with any product purchase. Please call, make an appointment, pop in with your makeup bag. We can go through it, help you curate the best products for you, look at what's working, what's not, maybe how to use some products. Even if they're not brands we carry, we're happy to help. So we're going to go through my makeup bag today, and I'm going to do that for myself, but feel free to get in touch with us and bring in your bag and let us do this for you too. So this is my makeup bag. Shout out to Mercier, by the way. She made these portfolios several years ago, and I absolutely love mine because it holds everything. Yes, this is pretty much everything for whatever the day might throw at me. I do, as a self-professed makeup junkie and artist, have a lot more at home in like little drawers. I'm sure some of you can relate a little bit. But this is the stuff that really I use on a regular basis. And some of it probably needs to go. So let's go through it. All right, so first I have Complexion products. And let's see what I've got here. I've got one of my brushes, a few under eye concealers. I can tell you that that one, though I do love this concealer from Hourglass. First of all, they don't make it anymore. Secondly, definitely expired, time to go. And ditto probably on this Bare Minerals one. I do love a good stick concealer. I'm always looking for full coverage for myself, but one way to tell if your product is expired, which again, I just kind of know this is because I know how long I've had it in my bag. If you either look at the texture of your products and they're a little bit chunky, or you kind of give it a whiff and it smells like a box of crayons, it's time to go. And that kind of smells like a crayon, so let's not put that on our face anymore. I have another product that Mercier doesn't make anymore, but that's okay. Again, I'm sure a lot of you can relate. My favorite thing in the whole world to set under eye concealer, the Secret Brightening Powder. A brush for that. And then I have a couple of concealers for depending on, again, what the day might throw at me. 2 shades of my favorite Mercier Flawless Fusion, depending on what time of year it is, because I can pick up just a tiny bit of color, but you know, one gets too light, one's too dark. And I have a beautiful loose mineral from Jane Iredale that I wear on a regular basis. It's sheer coverage, it's buildable, it does a little bit of sun protecting, it's sort of just that good everyday effortless look. But then I also have, again, something a little bit heavier hitting, this one also from Dermablend, this one actually in a slightly darker tone since I can get some hyperpigmentation in the summer, that really covers a lot. So that's a full coverage option. So I've got kind of a smattering of full coverage, sheer coverage. I'm not really sure that I necessarily, like I can tell you that this is expired. This has got to go. Unfortunately, I'll have to get that again if I want to. That's still good. And then finally, in Complexion, don't judge me, Mercier Secret Camouflage. This is clearly a well-loved product. This is my favorite concealer for facial skin, for spots, blemishes, that kind of thing. And I do use this a fair amount, and it is still good, I know that, so I didn't buy it that long ago. So that's my Complexion products. Let's move on to eyes. All right, so eyes and eyeliners. Eyeliners and eye products definitely adhere to the expiration dates on your packaging. What you might see on the bottom of your eyeshadows, or especially on your mascaras, is the icon of a little drawing of a jar, the outline of a jar, a number, and then a letter M. And what that number is, the number of months that your product is good for from the time that you open it. So if your mascara says 6M on the bottom, say, it's good for 6 months from the time that you open it. So just keep that in mind. And again, with eye products, it's pretty important to stick to those expiration dates, just because every time you bring a product towards the eye or it touches the eye area and then, you know, accumulates bacteria, we just don't want to use that product for a length of time because we can risk an eye infection. So that's kind of important. But here I have several eyeliners, some of which are, as you can see, more well-loved than others. Some are longer, some are shorter. I have a couple of kohl pencils from Mercier that are really my go-tos. Black, violet, brown, copper, and stormy gray. I love these colors. And then I also have a long wearing pencil from Mercier. This is their Slate, and it really stays on nicely, but it goes on creamy. I love this eye pencil. Keep sharpening your pencils regularly, by the way. That can also help and keep them fresh. And obviously, if you do get an eye irritation or infection, just to be safe, toss those puppies because you don't need that around the eye in the future. This is my ultra well-loved Tweezerman pencil sharpener that we don't need to talk too much about because it needs to be cleaned. And then I do have a brow gel that I really like. Unfortunately, Mercier just discontinued their eyebrow gel. That was my personal favorite. I am on a waiting list to get the Jane Iredale, which is my next favorite, but in the meantime, I have a sample from another company that I'm trying. I don't really love it as well as the Jane, but that's okay. We'll get through it. My setting mist, of course, also Complexion. And then let's talk just a little bit about brushes. Brushes are really important. I have my portfolio of my favorite brushes here, a few for complexion and then many for eyes and concealer. I try to clean these, wipe them down at least every couple of days, and then I like to do a deep wash of these brushes at least once a month. That seems to work for me and my schedule. Cards on the table, I'm not always the best at doing the deep wash once a month, but I'm really trying to get a little bit better. Again, especially with those eye brushes, super duper important. And with having had to wear the mask, keeping your brushes super duper clean can really help cut back on the breakouts in general, but then also especially since we're having to wear masks, although perhaps not for too much longer. We'll see. And then I've got in my other part more eye makeup because I do makeup, that's what I do. I have a lot of eyeshadows, some of which it's time, as you can see, some well-loved colors and some that I wear on more special occasions. These are great. I'm going to pick up a few more probably. And when you hit pan like this, which is what it's called when you can see the bottom of your eyeshadow or blush, it's getting to be time, and these definitely, I need some new eyeshadows, so I'll be doing that for myself too. My mascara is still good. I'm pretty religious about that, like I mentioned with the expiration, super important. I do love Mercier's Caviar. It's my personal favorite. Nice big drama, effortless, couple of swipes and you're done. And then for cheek colors, this is another area that I feel like I really need to fix up, and I'm also completely out of bronzer at this point. So bronzer and blush, two more of my mainstays. I like to have, for my blush, a couple of different tones. You can see again, these are quite well loved. These are oldies but goodies from Mercier, and it is more than time for me to let go. I always keep a coral and sort of a plummy for my personal skin, those tones in my kit. Just depending on what I'm in the mood for. I wear the coral more in the summer. I wear the plummy when my skin fades down a little bit more in the winter time. So if you want to bring your kit in, we can talk about what might work best for your particular skin tone. But again, I like to, what I say is wardrobe my color and my foundations, and this is the color part. So there are those. Definitely need to buy more. This oldie but goodie is long expired and it's time. So, well, thank you. That's done. Have my bronzer brush, and that looks like pretty much it, although, yeah, my black ebony, it's probably time for that to go too, especially since I can see it says 12M on the bottom, and I've probably had that for 18 months, so that's probably time to go. So what I'll be doing for myself today is getting a few blushes, a bronzer, and then maybe another foundation that's a fuller coverage. Probably gonna look at that Mercier Lumiere or the Flawless Fusion foundation. Two of my favorites because I know I'm going to get the coverage I want. But if you feel so inclined and would like us to curate your makeup for you, please call us, make an appointment, or walk in with your makeup bag and let's go through it like I did mine today and talk about what works, what doesn't work, what your lifestyle is like, and what puzzle pieces might be missing so that you can have the best makeup bag for your situation.